Yo, 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 yo. What's going on to the community? Welcome in, you guys. It's another edition of the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. Today is October 27th, 2022. We got we got a special location, man. I told you guys, if you guys been tapping in with me, you know that I'm not I'm not in VA right now. I'm not at the crib. I am actually out in Minnesota for the Laker and Timberwolves games tomorrow. So doing this show from the hotel, man. I'm live in the hotel. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, if you're not watching over on YouTube and you want to, you want to come over, the link is in my YouTube, is in my bio. So be sure to tap in with me there. We got a 4-card slate today. We're gonna get into it. Appreciate you guys for being here as always. I'm here to share information, help you guys make better informed decisions on your bets tonight, and hopefully get to some money. It's always about getting to some cash. I don't do these shows to, just talk or share information. I do them so that we can make better informed decisions and we can cash tickets, man. That's always the goal. So, like I said, I always appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to all my guys in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys for being here. Courtney, I see you, bro. Hustle Hard 85. I see you, bro. Appreciate you for being here. What's up with y'all, man? What's up? What y'all on today? Y'all drop them plays that y'all like in the comment section over on YouTube. I'm gonna try to read off as many as I possibly can. But if you got plays and you got plays that you like, definitely put them in the comment section. Put them in the comment section. That's not toilet paper behind me either. I see what you're talking about. That's a lamp, bro. That's not toilet paper. That's a lamp. That's not toilet paper, bro. I'm not in the bathroom. I'm in the actual hotel, bro. But yeah, let's get to some money, man. It's we here to get some money, man. I'm not here to waste your time. Let's get into it. So we got, like I said, we got a 4-card slate. We're gonna get started, man. Let's start the show by going to the streets of let's go to the streets of Brooklyn, man. If you guys tapped in with me this morning, or if you listened to the show yesterday, the NBA ChrisBeCappinn show yesterday on Twitter Spaces. First of all, let me start with a recap. So I actually did terrible yesterday, and I own it, right? I'm not here to run away from what I'm doing or try to put it off like I'm out here killing the game or anything like that. I take my losses and I own them. Yesterday I was wrong on a lot of things. I think a couple bad beats, but also just something I didn't anticipate. So yesterday overall I went 1-4. Worst day I've had so far. -4 units on the day. For the show plays, we are officially -2.38 units, which doesn't feel good to say. Overall, in totality, we're about even. Overall, we hit a couple ladders, so we're about even overall. Not good. I don't like that. Working hard to try to improve it, of course. Loved all the spots. Like I said, I'll be better. So Hawks -4 in the first half. We saw Cade Cunningham and Bogdanovich look spectacular in that game. So kudos to Detroit for bringing it on the second night of a back-to-back after getting mopped by Washington in the game before in D.C. It was a road home back-to-back. The Cleveland Cavaliers team total over 112.5. They had I think a 19-point third quarter, so they didn't score in the third quarter. Orlando ended up, not covering that. I don't think Orlando covered that game, but they went under their team total. Donovan Mitchell shot the ball terribly, kind of regressed back to the mean. Orlando played pretty good defense and kept that game close until late in the second half. Brook Lopez threes was a spot I talked about laddering. He came back down to earth, only hit 1 3. I talked about taking him all the way up to 5. I really loved this spot for him. I thought it was a really good spot. And then the Raptors money line was a cash. That was a +110 play, so that helped just a tad bit. But then I also talked about taking my Lakers. I thought if they was going to win a game, it would definitely be yesterday against a Denver team that doesn't score a lot. But the Lakers still can't shoot. They can't shoot, Westbrook or no Westbrook. I came on here. I was critical of Westbrook yesterday. Gave him a lot of criticism and, put a lot of the Lakers' problems on him. And that might not have necessarily been fair because yesterday he didn't play and we still looked like about the same team. We didn't shoot the ball well. We didn't shoot the three well. We struggled defensively at times. So you got to kind of own it. You know what I mean? Like you just own it. And like I said, I'm not here to run away from my losses. So we'll get better as we get more information. We'll definitely lock in and, keep the plays, keep the volume low. And keep the units appropriate, and we'll catch up. I'm sure we will. Like I'm not really too upset about it. When bad beats come my way, I am upset. The Hawks -4 first half yesterday was something I was upset about. And I like the looks. Like I said, it's not like I'm forcing anything. I don't force plays. It could be a 12-game slate, and I only have 2 plays, and I'm totally fine with that. So neither here nor there, but did just want to kind of give you guys a recap for transparency reasons. But like I said, let's head to the streets of Brooklyn tonight. So if you guys been paying attention, I talked about putting this one in yesterday. Spread for this one actually opened at Brooklyn -1.5. They were favored in this one. By the time I saw the number, Dallas was favored by 1.5. And since then, the total has come up to 2.5. I see a couple threes as well. So Dallas has shifted towards being the favorite in this one. That's the only way I'll be able to look. I talked about it last night. I talked about it on the also talked about it on the morning show, Cashed It with Chris. I talked about it on the 7 a.m. show that I do in the morning as well. Total for this one opened at 228. It's down to 225.5. I like that. I like that it's coming. I like that the total's going down as well. I think it'll be a lower scoring game. Brooklyn might come out, in my estimation, with something in the first half. But I expect Dallas to be able to win this game and win it pretty comfortably. I think Dallas wins this game by at least, I think it's a 2-possession game, at least 4, 5, maybe 6 points. I think Dallas win this game by at least. So as far as notes, what I got for you guys, and it's an official play for me. I locked it in. Dallas -1.5. I played it for 2 units. My favorite play of the day. Actually, the only thing that I locked in so far. I actually put this in before I left Virginia earlier this morning. I actually put it in last night before I left. And I talked about it on the morning show, and I talked about it on the evening show yesterday. So you get a bad spot for the Knicks, right? And it's more so a fade of the Knicks in this spot and a buy-on for the Dallas Mavericks. So the bad spot that you get for the Knicks, they come into this game, it's the second night of a back-to-back, and the back-to-back is a road home back-to-back. This is not a spot you want to take a lot of teams in when they're traveling from a specific location that's not their home, and they're going into a new environment that is their home. It's also a third game in 4 nights, which is also a spot that I'm not looking to take a lot of teams in. So I'm officially fading the Knicks and also buying on the Mavs. We saw the Mavs come out and they played really well in the first game against Phoenix. Phoenix ended up winning that game outright, and although they didn't cover, the Mavs kind of gave that one away. Then we saw the Mavs come in and absolutely clean up Memphis, 30-plus point win at home against a strong Memphis team. Then we saw the Mavs in a spot where they should have won, but they actually played down to their competition. We saw them lose to the Pelicans on a 4.5 line. I think the line was 4.5. Went up to 5 for the Pelicans, who were shorthanded. They were without Zion in that game. They were without Herb Jones, and they were without Brandon Ingram. We saw the Pelicans actually come out, punch them in the mouth, in a bounce back spot for the Pelicans after coming off a loss to the Jazz. So this is a buy-on spot for the Mavs, though. I talked about it earlier, and I'll tweet the trend out, but I shared a strong SDQL query that I ran. Shout out to my guy, YBB. I see him in the chat. He'll be proud of me for this one. So what I wanted to share with you guys, first of all, I think it's important just to say, before I share anything with you guys, I think it's important to share just that if we're just looking at this game from a perspective of who's the better team, I don't think it's actually that close right now. I think that the Dallas Mavericks are a much better buy-on team. When you look at this team, they're ranked. The Dallas offense is ranked 9th, scoring 118 points a game. Their field goal percentage is ranked 6th. They're shooting the ball at a 49% clip, and the 3-point percentage is actually ranked 9th. They're shooting the 3 at a 38%. They're not rebounding the ball as well, 24th, only getting 43 rebounds a game. But you look at the Brooklyn defense; it's atrocious right now. They're giving up the 25th most. Their defense is ranked 25th as far as points allowed per game. They're giving up 120 a game. They're also allowing teams to shoot 48%, which is the 22nd best percentage. And then you look at their 3-point defense, it ranks 26th. They're allowing teams to shoot 40% from 3. Doesn't bode well for a Dallas team that shoots the 9th best percentage at 3 at 38%. Then you look at the opposite side, Brooklyn defense, that is not ranked well at all. They're ranked 20th overall, giving up 110 points a game. Field goal percentage, they're ranked 16th. 3-point percentage, they're actually ranked 27th, allowing teams to shoot Brooklyn's offense is ranked 27%, They're only shooting 31.5% from three. We know that they're still without guys like Joe Harris, guys like Seth Curry, marksmen. They need these 3-point shooters, especially when you guys got guys in the lineup like Ben Simmons that you don't have to account for at the 3-point line. Also, Dallas ranks 31st in defensive in defensive rebounding. So they're not giving up a lot of rebounds. Dallas is one of the better defensive teams in the league right now. So I think that's something to take into consideration as well. So overall, we've seen this Brooklyn team struggle. We were actually on Brooklyn 2 games ago against Memphis. They were in a much better travel spot. And, I think that they were in a prime spot to win. They lost that game. Then they also lost last night in Milwaukee, and then you get them coming back home. So I like the Mavs in this spot. And going back to the trend that I told you guys that I wanted to share, I actually tweeted this. Well, I didn't tweet it out, but it's actually in the morning show. So a really, really strong trend. The Mavs, after a loss where they were an away favorite, and after a loss where the Mavs were an away favorite since 2020, they're actually 9-1, both straight up and against the spread. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings and covered 3 of the last 5 as well. That's a 90% hit rate on the Mavs if you want to buy on them after taking them after a loss when they should have won the game because they were favored in that game. They're also 4-1 straight up and 3-1 ATS last season when they were the more rested team post All-Star break. And the reason why I ran that query post All-Star break is because we know that Luka doesn't come back he doesn't start the season in shape. But to his credit, he's actually come into this season actually in shape. Luka looks a lot better. He's getting his numbers. Not having to take as many breaks early into the game, early into the season. I think that's fair to compare the Mavs post All-Star break to how the Mavs look at the start of this game. Also, the Mavs are only 1-2, and I don't think they really want to start the season 1-3 either. So it's a buy-on spot for me for the Mavs. I like them a lot. I think that listening to Kyrie comments about Ben Simmons and just the offense in general. They talk about, Ben Simmons not playing basketball for a while, and he's going to have to get reacclimated to, just being able to play the game and, be efficient and effective. And we haven't seen that from Ben Simmons yet. So I do think there's something there as well. We've seen teams struggle who have players on their team that are impact players who aren't necessarily in their prime for the season. I think about Joel Embiid with the plantar fasciitis. They haven't looked. The Philadelphia 76ers haven't looked well because of him. I think about a guy like Ben Simmons who hasn't looked well because of he just hasn't played basketball. And you're playing these real high competition type games, right, against these extreme competitors. So I locked in and I gave it out early. If you guys, I know a lot of people don't play spreads, but I really liked it a lot. It's a 2-unit play for me. Dallas -1.5. Like I said, the line has moved, but I think Dallas wins this game by 4 or 5, being a much better rested team. It's a public side, but I got on it, I feel like, before, and I didn't care whether the public was on it or not because sometimes the public actually cashes. So that's that game for me in a nutshell. Moving along, we get the Clippers and the Thunder in the next spot. Let me update this. And let me see what oh, man, it's a lot of you guys in the YouTube comments. Sheesh, let me catch up real quick. And then I'll kick it back to the actual game. So Matt Stoney said, feel like I won't play anything today. Lost a bunch of units yesterday. Yeah, I could see. I mean, no, Patrick actually said that. I could see that, Patrick. Like I was down 4 units yesterday. I just feel like it's a spot thing. I don't force plays, but if it's something that I really like, then I feel like I'll play it. So that's my comments on that. Matt Stoney said, or pick a certain number of games, like 5 or 7, and then cut that down to your top looks, your loves, something I'm also doing so I don't force anything. If I don't love that, then I won't play that. Yeah, I like that a lot, Stoney. That's really good advice. Don't play anything that you don't love. Leave your leans as a lean, and if they hit, congrats to you. You don't win no money for them, but if you don't hit on your leans, then you actually did something positive. So I like that a lot. Matt Stoney. I appreciate you sharing that. Euphoria say he's on Dallas money line, OKC +6.5, Memphis -2.5, and Miami plus the 6.5. So we're gonna get there. Parlayed them and took them single. Love the slate. Okay, so we got some people that's strong on the slate, some people that's not. Dinwiddie revenge game. We definitely, got to talk about that. I like that look a lot. He's always gonna have something against them, I think, for sure. Daniel said to Patrick, can't you set your own limits on your own sports book? Still gotta have discipline not to go and chase, but it's another option. That's true. Yeah, you guys can, especially if you're betting from a legal sports book in the States, you guys should be able to, set your daily limits for how much you want to pick as well. Nets, my boy. Nets, Chris. Laugh out loud, not Knicks. Oh, my fault. I said Knicks. My fault. Definitely Nets. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, definitely Nets, not Knicks. You guys got to excuse me. I'm tired, man. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Definitely looking at Grizzlies tonight. Jeff Michael said that's 9-1 straight up 9-1 ATS query you pulled this morning was so critical. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm not looking to fade the Mavs on a spot after a game where they should have won as a fave, and Brooklyn being on a back-to-back, especially if the back-to-back is a road home back-to-back. So Euphoria said can't trust Brooklyn. Brooklyn defense, and Dallas really only struggles with teams that play defense. I like that. I like that point a lot. Much love to the SDQL. Brooklyn got out rebounded 54-37. I think that's a big point to mention too, Captain. Like Brooklyn is not the greatest rebounding team. We see them get the games that they lose, they get dominated on the rebounds. I already talked about Dallas being the number one rebounding team in the league as far as how many rebounds they're allowing per game. They're not giving up a lot of rebounds. They're the number one defensive rebounding team in the league, not giving up a lot of rebounds at all. Those guys are undersized, but they play hard for Coach Kidd. They understand defense, and they understand the last line of defense. The last line of defense after you contest the shot without fouling is to actually get the rebound, right? You got to get the rebound. That's a part of defense as well. Because if you don't, then the other team stays on offense, and you're still on defense, right? So you want the defensive possession to end. We saw the Pelicans actually come out and dominate Brooklyn Nets in the first game. I think they out-rebounded Brooklyn by 30. Don't quote me on that, but they out-rebounded Denver pretty badly in that game, and were able to come away with a significant win as well. So I don't like I said, I don't like the spot for Brooklyn at all. What else we got? Let me hurry up and try to get through these so I can get to you guys. Let's see. Ben Simmons over 10 points. Klay Thompson over 20. YBB said the Sacramento Kings have gone 24-5-1 to the under following a road loss in which they allowed 117 points, 86.2% hit. I like that a lot, YBB. I know that they get a high-flying Memphis Grizzlies team in here today, but I like that trend a lot. Jeff Michael said wasn't on Dallas, not like I was on Brooklyn, but I think you convinced me. Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot, man. Trend of the day. I like that a lot, YBB. What's up, Mitch? Appreciate you being here as always, bro. My guy Mitch in the building. And YBB said, Daniel said that YBB could be a reason why the total hasn't moved at all. The money on it is scaring me. Yeah, I'm not going to play the total. Mitch said he's on Keegan Murray over 20 points at plus 116.5. I saw that line drop last night. I like that a lot, Mitch. He's actually in the starting lineup today for the first time all season. We know that the Grizzlies like to play at a really fast pace, and I think Keegan Murray has been over this number. He's shooting the ball at a really good percentage from the field. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I want to say he's been over 50% in both his games so far. He'll get a fast-paced matchup and a defense that's without Jaren Jackson Jr. today. I like Keegan Murray a lot in this spot. I would have played him and gave it out to you guys officially, but I'm not in the state, so I'm not in the state where I can bet. So I didn't put it in before I left, and I'm going to be transparent with you guys in my plays that I put in. It's a Christian Wood type of night. Let's see. Christian Wood double is plus 175. Might be a look with the boards. I like that. I like that a lot, Jeff. Liking Keegan Murray threes. I thought about taking his threes too and taking his points. For me, Keegan Murray reminds me a lot of Kyle Kuzma. I've said it a lot in the preview shows. I think he can just score the ball. He looks like Kuzma. He plays like Kuzma. It feels like he scores like Kuzma. He can score in a variety of different ways. He shoots the ball at an extremely efficient percentage. So, yeah, I would look to back Keegan Murray in this spot as well. Over 18.5, over 19.5 is easy money. Really like the Christian Wood look. Starting for the first time, he got to go off. Okay. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 27.5 points, 30-plus points in nine of the last 9 games. Hit 2 of 2 and 5 of 6 and 11 of 13 without Giddey hit 4-4 this season. Dude is a good player prop to keep your eye on, and no Kawhi either. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Christian Wood points and rebounds. So yeah, y'all got some looks for sure over in the YouTube comment section. I appreciate you guys for being there. If you're over on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button for me over there. Shoot me a thumbs up. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like I always tell you guys. And let's keep it moving. Let's go on to the second game. So we got the Clippers coming into Oklahoma City, and not even really coming in because they were already there, right? We saw the Clippers lose this game the other day. A lot of reverse line movement based on the injuries. We saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander be ruled in when he was out. We saw Kawhi be ruled out when he was in. And, of course, we already knew PG wouldn't play in that game because of an illness. Now you get a Clippers team that will still be without Kawhi, but Paul George is in this game. And I think the Clippers clean them up. Like, I don't see a reason why the Clippers don't bounce back in this spot. They're already 2-2. I don't think they have aspirations to go 2-3. We know that the Clippers don't necessarily care about the offseason, about the regular season. They're more so in it to win, in the playoffs. They have the highest percentage of the lowest odds, of actually winning the championship. Before the season started, they had a better chance of winning the championship than Golden State. So they were picked to come out of the West. And in a spot like this, I would only be looking towards taking them. The other thing I think to keep in mind is that OKC doesn't want to win, right? Like, of course, you're 0-3. Everybody has a win. You're at home, and I'm specifically talking about the game on Wednesday. You're at home. There's some pressure on you to come out and want to perform well, especially in front of your home crowd. You want to get a win, just for your fans, right? But OKC's not trying to win games. They like we gotta be real with ourselves. They're tanking. Like Wembanyama is a real sweepstakes prize. That's a big prize, right? This isn't like getting a piece of gum out the bubblegum machine for free. Just because it happens to fall out. Wembanyama is the whole bubblegum machine. He's a couple bubblegum machines. So that's something to keep in mind. I think the Clippers actually come in here and clean OKC up in this spot. The line opened at 7.5. When I actually did the show last night, really late last night, like 1 o'clock Eastern time, there wasn't a total yet. I see the total at 218 right now. The last game went under, so it's only natural that this game actually goes over, even though I don't have a play on the total. But typically when you see these back-to-back games with in the same gym, without a game in between, typically the total goes over, and the team that covered the last time covers the last time covers the next time. We saw it already in the series with the Spurs and the Timberwolves, and we saw it with Miami and Toronto. The first game, Miami won the game, and the game went over. The second time, Toronto won the game, and the game went under. So just something to kind of keep in mind for you guys. I think that's a trend that hits at a very high rate dating back to last year, as far as I'm tracking. The Clippers are 0-4 to the under in this spot. The OKC is 1-3 to the under. The Clippers are also only 1-3, but I feel like it's a get right spot for the Clippers. You don't want to lose 2 games back to back to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's kind of bad to have on your rap, right? Also, looking at this game, you get not a look ahead spot at all for the Clippers. They play against the Pelicans, but that game isn't until Sunday. And then on the opposite side, the OKC plays on Friday. They travel to Dallas to start just a 1-game road trip before they come back home and host Orlando and Denver. This is actually their 3rd game playing at the crib after the loss to Minnesota and the win against the Clippers on Wednesday night. So that's the only way I'll be able to look in this game. I talked about Ladder and Zubac rebounds the other day. I don't see it. I typically don't like going back to the same player prop, but I don't see a reason why it doesn't hit tonight. It's not like Pokusevski, has put on 30 pounds or became a better rebounder in 2 days. So typically I don't like going back to the same player prop, but that's what I'd be looking towards. Nothing official for me on the player props at all. I do think that, PG having a day off probably will come back into this game with, a little extra fresh, and I could see him, playing well in this spot. But I also would like to look towards Zubac rebounds in this spot as well. Let's see. What else we got in the comment section before I move on to the next game? Let's see. We got Nets 28th in first quarter margin, -6. Luka plays most minutes and scores most points in the first quarter. Mavs first quarter money line. I like that a lot, OTG. I like that a lot. The only thing that kind of, and I looked at it from that angle, the only thing that kind of keeps me off the Mavs first quarter is that I think that Brooklyn probably runs out of gas in the second half of this game. And I could be totally wrong. Maybe they come in and they play well in the first half. I'm not sure how the game's going to go. You don't get I will say that Brooklyn doesn't necessarily play as great on the, off of back-to-back. And what I want to do for you guys, I want to look at games real quick where the Grizzlies played last year, and it was a previous away game, and now they're playing at home. And I want to say the rest was 0. So they didn't have a day of rest. So it only happened one time last year. They were actually 0-1 straight up, 0-1 ATS, and that game went over. It was against the Grizzlies. I'm sorry, I looked at the Grizzlies. Matter of fact, don't disregard that. Let me make sure I take the right team in first. So the Nets, when their previous game was away, and they come back home with no rest, they finished 0-4 straight up. They finished 1-3 ATS, only covered the spread one time. The cover against the spread was against the Mavericks. They lost that game by 2 points, but they also lost to they lost to the Thunder, they lost to the Wizards, and they lost to the Hornets. So the Nets they didn't do well last year in games where they were on the road and then came back home with no rest in between. Those totals also went 3-1 to the over in that spot. They lost those games by an average of 11 points, 119 to 108. So just wanted to kind of run that query real quick. I will say for OTG bets in the chat, first quarter, they actually outscored the opponents 29 to 28.2. So, it's a spot where they give everything they have in the first quarter, which is typical. And then they lose the game in the second quarter. They lost the second quarter 31.5 to 28.6. So that's a 5-point margin. They won the third quarter, and then of course they lose the fourth quarter because you see teams kind of tank out towards the end. That's what we saw yesterday in the Hawks and the Pistons game as well. I didn't give it out official, but because I was just kind of doing a lot, but I did hop on the Hawks plus the 3.5 in the third quarter when Detroit was still winning the game, and of course that cashed because Atlanta won the game outright. But you see these teams playing on the second night of a back-to-back kind of go hard, as hard as they can in the third quarter, in the first half, and then towards the fourth quarter, you see them kind of just kind of pan out. So I don't like the look, OTG. I'm not going to tell you not to take it, but I wouldn't take the Nets first quarter. I think that they probably try hard in the first quarter before losing the game. SGA definitely goes off today. He could go off again. Golden State for -1 third quarter. Mitch is on that -110. That's the only way I'd be able to look, even though we had some contradicting trends in that one, Mitch. And I want to get to that game. I'm going to get to that game. I'm trying to keep up. You guys send a lot. I appreciate the love, man. I cannot keep up with everything in the YouTube comment section, though. I used to rattling them off. I can't keep up, bro. You guys are going crazy in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for posting your plays over there. Like I said, hit the like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe to the videos as well, so you guys are first to make sure you don't miss anything. So let's move on, though. You guys aren't here for me to read off the comment section of the YouTube. Let's move on. I think we have gotten through 2 games. Let's move on to so not official for me. I didn't play anything in this game before I left VA, but Clippers first quarter, first half is the way I would look. I think they come out, punch the Thunder in the mouth. I know that the spread came down from 7.5 to 6.5 as well. I like the trifecta spot. I think that the Clippers come in here and they actually take the Thunder serious in this game and they beat them up. So nothing official for me, but I like the Clippers first quarter, first half, and full game on the spread. I think you can get the first quarter at -2.5, maybe even -1.5 now. First half -3, and then the full game, of course, like I said, -6.5. I think they beat the Thunder up in this spot, in a get-right spot for them. Moving along, let me get a drink of water real quick. Moving along, you get the Heat traveling to Golden State, and I ran so many queries in this spot because I'm so interested in this game. The Heat and the Wizards. I'm sorry, the Heat and the Warriors. So we know that the Heat, they actually beat up on Portland, gave them their first win. I gave them their first loss last night in the game where Dame was hurt. Dame got hurt in that game and didn't return from injury, and I think we saw reports that said that he's going to be out for a little bit of time. But Miami, that was their first actual ATS victory. They're 1-4 in the season. They're also 2-3 straight up, 2-3 straight up. But it was their first road game too. And traveling from the tip, like the farthest southeast that you could possibly travel, all the way to the farthest northwest that you can travel, is really, really impressive. I thought that was a really, really impressive spot for Miami yesterday. I didn't think that they'd win the game, but I kind of stayed off because I knew Portland was due to come back down to earth. This game is interesting to me. It's really, really interesting. I think the only way I would be able to look is towards the Golden State in this game, and specifically because Golden State lost their last game in the fashion that they did lose. I didn't think that they would go out the way that they did, losing to the Phoenix Suns in the second half the way that they did. I think you get a fired up Klay Thompson after he was ejected for the first time in his career. And Miami will, I think, get up for this game, but I don't like that they have back-to-back road travel, based on the game that they had last night. It's not a long travel from Portland to Golden State, but I don't like the travel spot at all for Miami. And I do think that we know Golden State, going back to last year, they cover spreads at home. When they're a home favorite, they typically don't let up. So a query that I didn't run real quick, but I want to share with you guys is the Warriors, and let's just say last season, and they were a home favorite. They were the Warriors last year as a home favorite were 42-11 straight up. They were 31-22, which is a 58.5% hit rate. They won those games by an average of 11 points. So, man, yeah. And if you look at, let's just say, and you add after All-Star break, because that's when they kind of got the band back together, they were actually 12-6, 67% hit rate, 14-4 straight up, and they won those games by an average of 9 points. Now you get a spread at 6, right? Another query that I ran, and let me just make sure I got the notes for this one to make sure I don't need to run it again. If I can get back to my notes. I talked about this one on the morning show, and I actually didn't write it down. So I'll run it again for you guys real quick because I do. And if you go back and listen to the morning show, I actually pulled the query up so you guys can see how to query the stuff yourself if you're interested in learning SDQL. So when you look at the Warriors, I think I ran this query post 2022. I'm sorry, post the season of 2020 or greater. So the last 2 years, when the Warriors are coming off a previous loss and they're a home favorite, they're 21-4. That's an 84% hit rate, 17-8, which is a 68% hit rate ATS, and they're winning those games by 14 points. To me, that's extremely impressive. And if you add that the line is greater than or equal to, let's just say 6.5. They're 17-2, straight up, 13-6. That's a 68% hit rate. They're winning those games by 15 points. I'm not saying that Miami comes into this game and they lay an egg, but what I am saying is Golden State typically bounces back off a loss, right? I would not be able to look towards Miami in this game. Now, can Miami win this game? Yeah, they probably could. I'm not looking to back them in this spot just because I don't bet against Golden State after a loss, especially when they're coming home. We've seen their defense not be as great as it, typically has been. Golden State right now actually ranks. Let's see. Golden State's defense is giving up 124 points. They rank 30th. They are also allowing teams to shoot 48.4%, which is ranked 25th. And they're not rebounding the ball extremely well. They're giving up 47 a game, which ranks 21st. On the opposite side, Miami is not really scoring the ball well. They're only averaging 106 points per game. They're also shooting the three-point ball 21st overall. They're only shooting the ball at 34.5% rate. So I think it's a get-right spot for Golden State in this one. You can't, necessarily look at, the recency bias. Also, the Heat, I will say the Heat are 6-2-2 ATS in the last 10 meetings in Golden State, so it might be something to them traveling well. But for me, it's really hard to fade Golden State off a loss, especially when they're coming back home in a get-right spot. This Miami team has not looked great until last night. And like I said, some regression was bound to happen for a Portland team that nobody was thinking they were going to start 4-0. So that's my thoughts on that one. Nothing that I'm going to officially play, but I would look towards Golden State in this one. The problem with what Euphoria said, I think it was Euphoria. No, Mitch actually said in the chat, which I'm not against Mitch. I'm not betting. I would never bet against Golden State in the third quarter. The problem that comes into play for me is that when you look at how Golden State plays off a loss, right? They typically, it's not the third quarter that they win. It's typically the first quarter and the second quarter that they win. So if you look at Golden State off a previous loss and then you have them back as a home favorite since last year, they're winning the first quarter 28.6 to 25 points. They're winning the first quarter by 3. They're winning the second quarter by 5. And they're still winning the third quarter by 3. So I guess you could take the spot. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think you could take the first quarter, second quarter, first half, or the third quarter. Like I said, I think Miami probably comes out, gives it everything they have early, and then Golden State probably dumps them, later in the second half. So I guess I would lean toward what Mitch is saying. Hope that makes sense to you guys. A lot of, kind of contradicting trends in that one. And then the last game up. Let's get to the last game before I actually hear from you guys. I feel like I've been talking forever. The last game up, we have the Sacramento Kings facing the Memphis Grizzlies. And this game is actually in Sacramento. We get a line that opened at 4.5 in favor of the Kings. And right now, and it was at 237. Now the lines come down, and that's crazy. That is really, really crazy because 67% of the money I see is on Memphis. And if you want to fade the public, I think this is a really good chance to. Opened at 4.5, is down to 2.5. The money is actually on Sacramento. I see 71% of the money actually on Sacramento, even though 61% of the bets are on Memphis in this game. The total has come. It's kind of stayed the same. And I know you guys kind of mentioned that in the YouTube comment section. Opened at 237. I still see some 237s. I see some 236s and a half. But I don't see any total that actually went up. We know that these are two of the extremely fast-paced teams in the league. They like to get out. They like to run in transition. They like to get the easiest buckets that they possibly can. And what I got for you guys in this one. So one of the trends that I actually looked at. Well, first, let me start with this. So I talked about it earlier. Keith Murray is actually due to start in this game. I think it'll be his first start of the season. Sacramento Kings coming into this game 0-3, and they're at home. To me, this is reminiscent of Oklahoma City against the Clippers on Wednesday, right? Oklahoma City, you don't want to – even though these teams that are tanking, and I don't think the Kings are a tanking team, you don't want to keep losing in front of your home crowd, right? Like you want to win at least one game so that the fans actually feel like they came out to watch you play for a reason, not just to lose all your games. You want to win at least one of your games. So the Kings got some pressure on them to kind of get right. Mike Brown has been, coaching these guys up. They're actually, let's see, they're 2-1 to the over. Defense hasn't really played extremely well, but they've had spots where they show glimpses, right? Memphis is a really good team, but they are 1-3 ATS. They're 3-1 on the season. They haven't really been covering a lot of spreads, and I think looking at this line, it could be a tad bit confusing because we know Memphis, typically is a much better team than Sacramento. But one of the things that I looked at in this game, and I'll share a trend with you guys, I shared this one on the morning show as well. The Grizzlies, they failed to cover 4 straight when they've won as a home favorite in their last game, and then the next game is on the road in a line where they're expected to cover 4 points or more. Their defense have also taken a step back. Even though they scored a lot of points against the Nets the other day after getting blown out against the Mavericks, they still have just given up a lot of points, right? They should have been able to beat the Nets by 25 in that game. They scored 134 points, but they also gave up 124 points to the Nets. And the Nets only got, 2 scorers, KD and Kevin Durant. You can't depend on Royce O'Neal. We know Ben Simmons is averaging like a half a point a game, right? You're not looking at guys like, Nicholas Claxton to beat you. So I would only be able to look towards taking the Kings in this game. I think taking them plus the points is a pretty good look. The Grizzlies, and I think it's a sharp look too. The Grizzlies are also only 2-4 ATS coming off a home win when they face an opponent that has more rest. They failed to cover 3 spots last year in this same environment. I think not having Jared Jackson Jr. I've been talking about it a lot on the previews. Not having Jared Jackson Jr. is a big part for them, right? He plays a tremendous part defensively for this team, and it's kind of like a must-win spot. I feel like for the Kings, who are projected to, not play as bad as they played so far throughout this season. If you go back and look at the Kings' losses, and this is the last thing I got before I be quiet and kind of kick it over to you guys. They lost to Golden State. That's a loss. You're not going to win that game. And it was the second night of a back-to-back because they played the Clippers the night before. So you get the Clippers and Golden State. For some perspective, Golden State won the championship last year, and the Clippers are the favorite to come out the West this year. So you're not supposed to win either of those games. But then you get Portland the game before the Clippers, off 2 days rest before you actually face the Clippers going backwards. And Portland started the season undefeated. They were 3-0, 4-0, beat them by 7 points. So Portland's played up to expectation. So, really they played, three really strong opponents. And they kept the game close with Golden State. They covered that spread. It was a 5-point spread. They covered that one. And then they also covered against the Clippers as well. That was what was that? They covered the spread. So they covered the spread by 2.5 points in that game because they only lost by 2. They lost outright to Portland because it was a 3-point spread and they lost that game by 7. But that's how I would look at the game. I like Keegan Murray props tonight. Didn't play him officially. De'Aaron Fox has been on a heater. He's probably due to regress back to the mean. But I could see him going off in this game just because it's a fast-paced game. Both of these teams like to get out and transition and run. So that's what I would look at. I would look at taking the points. Official for me, though. I want to give this out before I open it up to you guys. Official for me, I am official on Dallas. I took the -1.5. I think Dallas wins this game by at least 5 points tonight, 4 or 5 points tonight, and that was a 2-unit play for me. Only play I put in last night before I left VA to come to Minnesota. At this time, I want to open it up to you guys. If you guys got looks, this is the time where you guys can request up, share your plays. We're going to be on here for probably like another 30 minutes. I want to get to as many people as I possibly can who have looks that they want to share. Let me kick it to Big Bookie Bully because I think he was the first one to request up. And then Rebound Guy, I'm going to get you up here as well. Tall Black Genius, I saw you come up, bro. Oh, matter of fact, there you go. Okay. All right, bet I'm going to get to you too. Bookie Bully, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you being here. I want to kick it to you, Rebound Guy. You're going to be second, bro. Bookie Bully got kicked out. Rebound Guy, I'm going to kick it to you first then. Tall Black Genius, you're going to be second.
What up, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. How you feeling?
Good. All right, so 2-1 yesterday on the show.
Okay.
And the lean for the under also hit.
Okay.
For the Nuggets and Lakers, sorry about that, bro. But
we ain't gonna talk too much about that one, Rebound Guy.
I got one spread I'm looking at. I'm with you with the Mavericks. Every 10 points for them to show out. You got the back-to-back for the Nets. Nets are bottom 5 in defensive efficiency. You got the Mavericks who are first on efficiency. And on top of that, really nice stat I saw. The Nets went 9-35 on the spread last year, and I don't think they got any better. So I just think 2.5 is too low. And I went official on sorry about that.
No, you good.
I went official on Keegan Murray's over point. 6.5. I might sprinkle on the ladder. When it comes to the Kings, he's taking the second most shots on the team. We got a high total. We got a close spread. So, I expect De'Aaron Fox to still stay. But for them to be able to cover the spread and even win, they're going to need somebody else to score. I think Keegan Murray's going to step up today.
Okay. Now, I like the look, Rebound Guy. If I had another player prop that I was going to play, it'd definitely be Keegan Murray. We talked about, attacking these rookies before the books, know where to set their lines at. So I like that look a lot, bro. Best of luck to you. Hope you cash it for sure. I heard you mention – absolutely, Rebound Guy, for sure, bro. I appreciate you being here. You also mentioned the Net. I think you mentioned something that triggered this thought to me. So I wanted to run this query real quick. So the Nets last year, when they were coming off a game where they had a game where they were at home, because we know that the ATS wise they were one of the worst ATS teams in the league. Where if they were the home team with no rest last year, they finished 3-5 ATS. That's only a 37.5% hit rate. They lost those games outright by 4 points exactly, 108.8 to 112.8. And they got a couple games this year where they're going to be in that spot, and this is actually the first one of the season. So love that look. They actually lost 6 games in a row straight up, and they only covered one of the last 6 games in that spot as well. So you could say, I said 3-5 ATS. You could say 1 and what's that? 1 and 3, 4, 5. 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games at home with no rest. I absolutely love the spot for the Mavs today. That's why I gave it out yesterday at 1.5. You see the number kind of come up. I think it's at 3 at some spots, 2.5. But I wanted you guys to get this one in early if you like the analysis and wanted to play it. Like I said, a 2-unit play for me. I like Dallas in the bounce back spot tonight. Appreciate you, Rebound Guy, for being here. Tall Black Genius, I want to kick it to you. And anybody else who got looks that they want to share, definitely send a request, and I'll get you guys up. What's up, Tall Black Genius?
ChrisBeCappinn, what up?
What up, bro?
ChrisBeCappinn, but we ain't never capping. We only cashing, man. It's a Tall Black Genius. Normally I come with some conspiracy, some wild theory. But honestly, we're just getting straight to the money nowadays, Chris. You know, I was tuned in the first NBA tip-off, and I'm glad you're consistent, always giving us great looks and letting people give out their plays, man. Me, as of recently with the NBA, I've been looking at home underdogs in great spots. I see over-exaggerated spreads, and that's when I like to smack our underdogs like the Bulls, you know, or the Oklahoma City Thunder, you know. And I'm also looking at legacy, Chris, the historical record of these teams. So the LA Clippers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, the LA Clippers have a 25-87 record on the road versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's 25-87 record for the Clippers versus the OKC. So I definitely won't be betting the Clippers today, Chris. I'm going to be giving out my free play as far as the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this is one of the young teams that's coming up, a coach that's been there for some time. Like they're definitely one of my developing teams, Chris. I see one of these teams going from C class to B class this year, and this is one of them, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'll be playing that plus 6.5. As far as the live underdog tonight, you guys are talking about it, the Sacramento Kings versus the Memphis Grizzlies, man. Another team that has a great historical record versus the Grizzlies, a winning record, and honestly a dominant record. Chris, I'm going to be playing the Sacramento Kings today money line, all right? And one of my X Factor players in this game who I think will perform and may win this game for us is our guy Harrison Barnes. I was looking for him to show up the other day when he had, 1 point versus his old team, the Golden State Warriors. But Harrison Barnes historically averages 14 points. This season, he's averaging 7. I'm looking for that progression. I'm going to play the over 11.5 tonight with Harrison Barnes in the Sacramento Kings money line. That's official to Tall Black Genius, ChrisBeCappinn. What's up?
Hey, best of luck, Tall Black Genius. I hope you cash them, bro. And you're right. Like historically, the Clippers have struggled in this spot. They're just 1-5 ATS in the last 6 meetings, no matter where the games have been played against OKC. They're also 2-9 ATS in the last 11 in OKC. But there's a really, really strong trend towards backing the team that was a favorite of at least 7 or 8 points when they lose a game outright, and then you take them in the next spot when they're still a 7 or 8 point favorite. They typically get right in that spot. We saw it against I think twice this year this trend is cash, and it's something I'll be looking at. So you guys definitely tap in with me because I think we're gonna make a lot of money on this trend. We saw it last week, earlier this week. The Philadelphia 76ers were a home favorite, I think of 9 against the Spurs, and they lost that game outright. And then the next game they had the Pacers on deck, and they won that game and covered the spread. They won the game by 14. The spread opened up at 12. Then we also saw it again last night. The Timberwolves, they lost the game against the San Antonio Spurs the other night. and then they came back and faced the San Antonio Spurs again, and they absolutely smashed them up. I know a lot of people was on that game first quarter, first half, full game, and all three cash. So a lot of money made last night, fading the team that won the game that shouldn't have won the night before. So absolutely love this spot for the Clippers. I think Ty Lue gets the guys back together. You also just don't want – who want to go around saying we lost 2 games in a row to the Oklahoma City Thunder? Like, that don't sound cool. That don't sound cool at all. So I think those guys come out with a chip on their shoulder. I think they play hard tonight, and I think they get the win. LJ, I sent you the request, bro. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did send you a request to speak because I saw your comment over on YouTube where you trying to get on as well. Anybody else got looks? I don't think I got. My fault. Let me get to Amar. I think it's Amar. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, bro. But if you hear, I want to kick it to you.
Yeah, bro. You actually Hello.
Yeah, you good?
Okay. Yeah, no, you actually pronounced it pretty well. But I got a couple leans tonight.
Okay, what you got?
It's Christian Wood over 7.5 rebounds. Brooklyn's just been terrible rebounding the ball. Just, to start the early season, nobody's getting after it. They're all just kind of standing around doing their thing, So Christian Wood and what I think should be a game that he plays, he's been averaging 26, 27 minutes, so a game he should play about 30. Yeah, I like that as a lean. Another one is Domantas Sabonis, 3-point ladder. It only goes up to 2, so you're not really risking too much on him. But he's yet to hit a 3 this season. Shot 3 the other night against the Clippers. Grizzlies haven't been that good at defending 3s at all, but overall to the center position, especially above the break 3s. That is, where he shoots most of his 3s. He's not really a good corner 3-point shooter. And in his last 2 games against the Grizzlies, he's had 2 and 1. So 1 is plus 110, 2 is plus 580. So I think it's pretty good value.
Okay. I like the look, bro. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. HB, I want to kick it to you, bro. I know you tried to request up the other day, but I couldn't get you up. So I definitely want to, get you on the platform, let you share your looks, bro. And then my guy Mike Murder in the building. So Mike, I'm gonna come to you next, bro. What's going on, HB? How you feeling, bro?
Bro. That's all good. I understand. I see there's 340 people in here. I get it. I'm in school right now, so I'm big. But so my leans are Kevin 3.
Who is it? Kevin Herter? You breaking up. You breaking up just a tad bit, HB, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear me.
Yeah, you breaking up just a tad bit. You going in and out.
Why is this no service?
You good now? Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, cool. So real quick, before I lose service again, Kevin Herter 3 threes and Sacramento to win tonight, plus 300 on FanDuel. You got also did Kyrie Irving. Is at over 4.5 rebounds at plus 124.
Okay.
You can hear me still, right?
Yeah, you good.
All right, cool. Let's see. Christian Wood over 19.5 points. Let me see. That's on. That was minus 102 on FanDuel. And last but not least, Jordan Poole. I did both 2 threes, and that's plus money, and also Jordan Poole for 20 points. He had a bad night. I think he'll come back and going to show out tonight.
Okay. I can see the look, bro. Best of luck to you. Big Mike Murder, I want to kick it to you, bro. What's going on?
What's good, brother? How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. Appreciate you having me up.
Absolutely.
So I got on the Brooklyn game. We all know this is a revenge spot for Spencer Dinwiddie.
Uh-huh.
So I'm looking at him. I was going to ladder his threes, bro, but the way he been shooting, he didn't cover his three prop in every game so far. So what I went ahead and did, I just took him for 5 threes, bro. It's plus 750.
Okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn, we know he's coming out playing, the shooting guard spot. We could run in the point, of course. And Brooklyn is allowing the most threes to shoot guards right now. So I feel like with the revenge narrative and then, the stats and data to be back it, I can see him doing it. And he actually taking the attempts to, get that. And I feel like, with them giving up the most threes to shooting guards, he probably might get even more attempts this game. So, for plus 750, I'll take a shot at it.
Yeah, a little step at it. I can see that. I can see that for sure. And I was looking at that. It's funny you said that, Mike, because I was looking at threes yesterday, and I gave out the Brook Lopez threes ladder. He only hit one, but he shot like 6 yesterday, and I saw exactly what you saw. I saw them giving up the threes to the, like you said, to the shooting guard position. Brook Lopez has just been shooting so many that I was cool with, laddering him, even though he wasn't necessarily the shooting guard in that spot. But looking back at the games, they definitely been not, defending the shooting guard position. So I like that look a lot, bro. Especially with the tired legs theory. You know what I mean? Like the back to back, yeah, the roll home back to back at that. So yeah, I like the look a lot, bro. I hope you cash it. Best of luck.
Appreciate it, bro. Also, 2 other things I like from that game. Luka, I don't know if the line's still at this right now, but I took him over 7.5 assists. I like that play, and hold on, where is it at? And I actually took Christian Wood under 19.5, bro. I feel like the way he's been going up, bro, he definitely due for some regression. Maybe it might not be tonight, with them having the tired legs and everything, but I don't see him going off, 4 games in a row like that, bro. Like, at some point, that regression is definitely going to come. I heard him speak about, that same thing with De'Aaron Fox.
Uh-huh.
So, like, yeah, I feel like, this could be one of those spots for him where he might go under, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting that you said that too, Mike, because I do think that De'Aaron Fox, is due to regress just a tad bit sooner or later. The same way, I was on Steph the other day, and Steph kind of regressed back to, he had been scoring 33 in every game, and then I took him and he had 21, of course. So that makes me think, Mike, that it might be a Sabonis night, right? Like somebody else that's gonna get high volume, somebody that's gonna play big minutes. I would have to, look at the rotation for them, but maybe we look at Sabonis, or like I said, I'm high on Keegan Murray. Yeah, I'm really high on Keegan Murray, but I like, maybe look at Sabonis. Maybe it's a PRA night because we know Sabonis can impact the game, at all 3 levels. He's a passer, a shooter, and a rebounder. He don't really get too much defense, but play too much defense. But he can definitely impact the game at all 3 levels. And they without Jared Jackson Jr., they're best perimeter frontline defender. So that's the spot I might look at, Mike.
Definitely.
I appreciate you sharing that, bro. You just what you said, kind of made me tap into looking at his player props. So I'm gonna check in on that.
Oh yeah, no doubt, bro. Best of luck to y'all tonight.
Absolutely, bro. Same to you for sure. HB, I see your hand. Absolutely, bro. HB, I see your hand back up. I'm gonna kick it to you, and then we're gonna get to Caroline.
All right, good. Yo, let's go. So last one, I think this is Spencer Dinwiddie, because Hardaway's not playing. I figured, playing his old team for a couple seasons, and he'd been getting a lot of burn. I think the other night he had like 20 something, and the first 2 games he started, he had 15, then 24. So I have him at to score 20 points. That's plus 198 on FanDuel. So that's one of my favorite picks. Spencer, Sabonis, I forgot to mention that with the rebounds, and Kyrie over with rebounds. The last 2 games he went 9 and 8 with rebounds. So 4.5 is like, for me, is way too low, and at plus 124, I feel like it's golden. So yeah, Kyrie rebounds, Sabonis rebounds, Spencer Dinwiddie. Even with threes too, because he shot 3 threes the other night, so he's getting a lot of minutes. And he could miss whatever. He could shoot 1 3, but he's shooting a lot. Like, they give it to him. And plus, he's playing his former team, so why not? So Spencer, Sabonis, Kyrie. Those are my 3 favorites.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, bro. I hope you cash him. Yeah. Caroline, I want to kick it to you. I think it's your first time up, but if you got anything you want to share, Caroline, I want to kick it to you, and you can share whatever it is that you want to share for the show.
Absolutely. So for tomorrow, I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Sorry, I just got a call. Let me put me on Do Not Disturb. Okay, Spurs versus the Chicago Bulls. In game, I don't know if that's too late, but in game one, Devin Vassell really wasn't getting a hot.
Caroline, can you hear me?
And play against the Timberwolves. And, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I had a call come in. I apologize.
No, you're fine.
Spurs versus the Chicago Bulls. Basically, what I'm going to do is Devin Vassell's been ruled day to day, and he's been a vital piece as to why the Spurs won the past 3 games. He's really great on defense, being able to limit wing defenders to creating points. And when he was out against the Timberwolves yesterday, you saw the difference in their impact of play. Even though Anthony Edwards was fatigued from their loss to Oklahoma City, they ended up scoring way more. They went over 134 to 122, as opposed to 106 to 115 when Devin Vassell was out. And a part of that is because 2 of their best defenders, Josh Primo and Devin Vassell, were out. And he was basically getting hot in those past 3 games. He scored 20-plus points. Because he's ruled day-to-day tomorrow, if he's not in tomorrow, I'm definitely going to go with the under for the San Antonio Spurs. And I'm going to pick the Chicago Bulls to win if he's not in, because he's a vital piece of their defense and the offense. And the last matchup last year, even though the rosters changed pretty significantly, with Zach LaVine scored 30-plus points, and so did DeMar DeRozan. Zach LaVine is ruled out for Friday's game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under for that, and I'm going to take the Bulls if Devin Vassell is out. If Devin Vassell is in, I'm going to take the Bulls. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take the Bulls still, but I'm going to take the over instead.
Okay, so you gonna take the spread, Caroline? Did you see that 4.5 or 5.5?
I don't do spreads. I just do. Or y'all do spreads only? Because I just do over and under. The over and under is 231. So I'm gonna go with the under if Devin Vassell is in, and I'm gonna do the over if Devin Vassell is out.
Oh no, I mean, on this show we do everything. So whatever you're on, you could definitely, always request up and share whatever your look is. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I don't do point spreads. I'm doing over and under, just based off of his defense.
On total, okay, got you. Okay, I see it. I actually see it down right now, Carolina, 229, 229.5 on bookmakers, but I see a lot of 229. So, yeah, I like that you get ahead of the line too. That's sharp.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, Caroline. I appreciate you requesting up and sharing your looks for tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let me come to snag. LJ, I see you up here. LJ, I think if you off mute, bro, I want to kick it to you real quick. What's up, LJ?
What's going on, Chris, man?
How you doing, bro?
Man, finally get to tap in with you instead of leaving all my plays in the chat.
Right. Nah, I appreciate you being here, LJ. Long time. My guy, what's going on, bro?
Hey, I'm good, man. Finally got off work early so I can get with you. I'm on Dallas with you, too, but I'm just going to ride the first quarter, man. Dallas good coming out first quarter, so I ain't going to trust the full game because, Brooklyn do come with it, probably first half, but coming off that back-to-back in Milwaukee. I think they'll have tired legs in the first quarter, so I'm thinking Dallas will probably get them in the first quarter, so I'm just going to take the -1. But I see everybody on the Dinwiddie prop, and I'm riding with them, 15.5 points, and I'm going to take the 2.5 threes, because he is a revenge spot against his old team. He has 3+ in all 3 games, so might as well ride the trend as well. So I'm on that as well. And I'm going to take Harrison Barnes, man, for Sacramento, over 4.5 rebounds. He's averaging 5. He had four games last year versus Memphis. He had 5 rebounds. So I think that's a good look as well. The second leading rebounder behind Sabonis. So I think that's a good look. And I also got a sneaky one, man. Jordan Poole, over 4.5 assists plus 112, man. He's the 3rd most minutes on the team coming off the bench. He's averaging 5.5 assists already, and he's hit this prop 3 out of the 4 games so far. And last year when they played Miami, he had 32 points and 5 assists in that game. So I think he'll be able to hit that prop tonight. So I'm going to take that plus money, Jordan Poole, over 4.5 assists tonight.
Sharp looks, LJ. I like him, bro. I like him a lot, man. We know what Jordan Poole can do. He draws a lot of attention for the defense, and he's not a selfish guy. I think he reminds me so much of Steph with, just his ability to be able to create his own shot, but also his ability to be able to draw double teams and make the right play. You know what I mean? He doesn't mind kicking the ball to, a guy like Moody or a guy like Steph or a guy like Clay or even Draymond or Looney. You know what I mean? So I like the look a lot, LJ. I got to, have to look into, his potential assist and stuff. But it sounds like you did your homework, bro. I hope you cash it. Best of luck, and I appreciate you tapping in with me, man.
Oh, no doubt. I got a future look for you tomorrow since you're gonna be at the Minnesota Lakers game. Minnesota give up the most assists in the league, so I'm all over LeBron assist prop tomorrow, bro.
Ooh, I like it. LJ. Hey, LJ, we're gonna have to talk about this one off air, bro. I was actually looking at. I don't know if you saw the quotes, but LeBron came out today and said that he vows to be more aggressive after the 0-4 start for the Lakers. So I think tomorrow he puts his head down and he probably dunk on Cat a couple times. I think. I think we get. I think Bron finished with 19 points last night, and that's not typical LeBron game. And I think with the Lakers desperately needing to win, I'm not taking the Lakers, even though I'm going to the game. The emotions is out of it for me. But I do think whatever they put his point prop at, I think he probably goes over tomorrow. So it might be a PRA type game where Bron, brings it out and leaves it all on the floor tomorrow. I like that look a lot, LJ.
Yeah, I get with you. So, yeah, I'll hold on to you. We can talk off there.
Yes, sir. Let's do that. And also, revenge Patrick Beverley game tomorrow. Pat going to be turned tomorrow. He ain't hit a 3 all year. He about 1 for 30, but I think he might hit a couple tomorrow.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, whatever he got left in the tank, he going to use it tomorrow, LJ. Just kind of look ahead spot for sure, bro. I was already thinking about that while I, just been downtown Minnesota, bro. But, yeah, let's chop it up later, LJ. I appreciate you being here, bro, tapping in with me for sure, man.
All right.
Absolutely, bro. Snag, let me kick it to you. Then I'm gonna get to Big Tony, and then my guy Meech in the building too. So I got to get to Meech. What up, Snag?
Yeah, Mavs and Grizzlies money line plus 190. Chris, back to you watching the retirement home tomorrow. I hope you enjoy yourself.
Mavs Grizzly money line. What you get that at, Snag?
Plus 190.
Plus 190. Okay, Mavs Grizzly money line. I can see it. I can definitely see it. I think they keep the game close.
That boy Luka gonna have a game just like Giannis did yesterday.
Yes, sir. We know that the Brooklyn Nets ain't playing no defense out here. Ben Simmons got called too small by Giannis yesterday, and if he can't guard Giannis, he probably can't guard Luka either. Probably the best two offensive players in the league. So I like that a lot. I can see that, Snag. I can see that for sure. I'm official on the Mavs minus the 1.5 though. 2-unit play for me. So best of luck to you, Snag, on that money line for sure. Let me kick it to my guy Big Tony real quick. And then we're gonna get to Meech, and my guy Finesse in the building too. He keep giving out winners, so we definitely got to kick it to my guy Finesse too. But yeah, Big Tony, I'm gonna kick it to you first, and then we get to Meech and get my guy Finesse up.
What's good, Chris?
What's up, bro?
Happy Thursday. I'll keep it short and quick. I know we're already over an hour, but just quick. Looking over the player props. They have Royce O'Neal listed at earlier. He was listed at 8.5 for plus 100. I locked that in for a whole unit. Just strictly off the numbers, he's averaging 9.3. His first 2 games, he took 7 shots. Last 2 games, he took 12 and 13. So taking 12 and 13 shots, I'll run that odds. And last night he was hot in 3 in that first half. So I'm just gonna lock that in for a whole unit. And then if you want to play a little bit, I sprinkled quarter unit on Luka Doncic triple-double and bad stuff for plus 800.
Luka triple-double?
Triple-double. And
with the win?
Yeah, PPD.
Plus 800.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey,
that's my looks for tonight.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, bro. I hope you cash them.
Right on, man. Right on again for everything you do. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you as well, my guy. Big Meech, I want to kick it to you real quick, and then we're going to get to my guy Finesse. Hey, Ski, I don't know if you're free, bro, but if you got anything you want to share, you always got a spot up here as well. Meech, what's going on, bro? Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this, Chris. Sorry, a little bit out of breath walking the dog, but just one look I didn't hear no one say was everyone's talking about this over in this Grizzlies game. We got Bane, 5 assists, plus 155. Dishing to Morant's been killing it. Secondary ball handler. Someone's got to get buckets. Bane will probably get buckets. I see a lot on his PRA over 27.5 as well. And other quick look too. Everyone's thinking Clippers first half, first quarter. If they do that, OKC live, they're probably going to be up like plus 8, plus 18, plus 16. Might be worth a sprinkle. Always on OKC live second half. So that's it for me. Keep it short and quick. And you guys have a good one. Good luck.
Absolutely, Meech. I like the looks, bro. I definitely like that. I think that's a really sharp look on OKC. The problem, my quick rebuttal for that, Meech, is that OKC, for me anyway, they typically – no, I think you're right. I think if we were in the trends, with them being a dog of at least 8 or 9 points. I know it's only 7 in this game, but a dog of 8 or 9 points. I think they typically get smashed in the first half, and then they come out in the second half and kind of get it back together. So yeah, I can see that.
Usually those lines are real steep too. Usually they're up like 17 and a half or something like that. So you're expecting a double-digit win, but sometimes they'll sneak it in. So
yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact for sure. Okay, I like the looks. I like the looks a lot, Meech. I know you're a sharp guy, bro. I appreciate you for being here and sharing your looks as well. Let me kick it to my guy Finesse real quick, and then we got Ski in the building too. So I definitely want to hear from two sharp guys from the community. Finesse, appreciate you being here as always, my brother. Talk to the people, man. What you want today?
What's good, bro? How are you?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Yeah, we good day yesterday. We were 6-0, and then the fucking Blazers fucked it all up.
Hey, you know it be like that sometimes, bro.
He went down, and he's gonna miss a couple weeks now, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, another day, smaller slate, but a lot of value still. I popped in late, but I popped in when y'all were talking about Dallas. I'm also on Dallas, so let me get to it. Yeah, I'm also on Dallas, so I paired the money line and just used Dinwiddie 10 plus as a juice reducer. Got that at minus 117 on FanDuel. Dinwiddie has 10 plus and 35 of his last 48, 20 of his last 22, and 20 of his last 21. We're playing 28 plus minutes, and he's averaging close to 32, so I feel like that's a safe leg to kind of get the Dallas money line juice down. It's just a great spot for Dallas. Last season, Dallas was 26 and 12 straight up after a loss. They were 43 and 11 straight up as a favorite, 16 and 4 straight up as a road favorite. Brooklyn, I mean, we know their struggles at home. Last year, they were just 21 and 23 straight up at home, 3 and 6 straight up as a home dog. Yeah, Dallas has the rest advantage, which I like. Dallas is also 4-1 straight up last 5 versus Brooklyn, and 8 and 3 straight up last 11 in Brooklyn versus the Nets. So love that play at great value. What else? I'm on two Canada boys too. I'm on SGA again over 26.5 points. That was at minus 115 on Bet365. Similar odds elsewhere. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's cleared this line in all 3 games. He's averaging 31 points per game on 23 field goal attempts per game. He's also hit this number 17 in his last 20 games. He's averaging nearly 36 minutes per game, and he's played 34 plus minutes in every game. When he's played 34 plus minutes, he's cleared this number in 10 straight games, 17 in his last 20 games, and 12 in his last 15 games at home. He's just been a beast. He's also cleared this number in 10 straight losses. So, Clippers are 7-point favorites. I think they will win the game. And he's covered in 5 straight losses by 10 plus. So, kind of blowout proof. Obviously, if it gets too crazy, it's different. But SGA is just their entire offense. 30% usage rate, which is at an elite level. Close to guys like Trae Young and Embiid, Steph. He's taken 20 plus shots in all 3 games he's played. Shot 50% or better in 2 of those games. And he's cleared this line in 14 straight regular season games when attempting 20 plus shots. So I don't really see anything changing. I think he's just going to carry the offense. And the last one, and then I'll shut the fuck up. Another Canada boy, I'm on Wiggins. I'm on his points and rebounds. He's cleared this line in 3 and 4 games. He's averaging over 27 PRs. Cleared this line in 8 of his last 10, 14 of his last 20, and 17 of his last 20 when playing 32 plus minutes. He leads the Warriors in rebounding, 11 rebound chances per game, which is second on the team, and third on the team in contested rebounds. He's done really well versus Miami, 4 straight, and 5 in his last 6. He's covered this number. Signed an extension in the offseason, and we saw it in the playoffs. I think they want him to get more involved, take more shots, be more aggressive, kind of take the pressure off the backcourt. So, yeah, really like that. So Dinwiddie 10 plus and Dallas money line, Wig over 23.5 PRs, and then Shea SGA over 26.5 points.
Lot of looks, Finesse. Lot of looks, bro. I think you got another successful night coming up for sure. Appreciate you sharing those, bro. Yeah, I might want to tap in with Finesse. He's been killing the NBA. Feel like it was just like 24 hours ago. He was saying, "Man, I haven't really capped NBA. I got to get back into it." And he done got right back into it. He crushing it already. So I don't know if y'all was here for that spaces or not, but the dude is on fire already. He just started the season off blazing. Real quick before I kick it to Ski, I kind of ran the STQ. I wanted to give you guys a trend that I was talking about that Meech mentioned. So the Thunder as dogs, with the line being 7.5 or more at home, dating back to a little bit before Valentine's Day. So February 12th, 2021, when the Thunder are dogs at home and the line is more than 7.5, they're actually 11-4 ATS. That's 73.3% cover rate. They've covered a lot of games, 11 out of 15, of course, and they're only losing those games by 1 point. So take with that information and do what you want. But I just wanted to kind of share that trim real quick because Meach mentioned, jumping on the Thunder if they were, if OKC does come out and they pound them in the first half and, go about 15 to 20, you may want to jump on the Thunder late in that game. But yeah, let me kick it to Ski. Ski, what's going on, bro? How you doing? How you feeling today?
Another day, another dollar. Just trying to, make it happen.
Yes, sir. What you on today, Ski? What you liking?
I'll try to just share those quick trends, and Paul George just got rolled in right now, so that Clippers line might move.
Mm-hmm.
But what y'all was saying, what you were just saying with OKC, the one thing I'll say is, team trends are good. League-wide trends are better because league-wide trends show you, when situations, when it's a good situation,
Mm-hmm.
So the two I dropped off yesterday with the Jazz and the T-Wolves, they both cashed, and it's the same one today.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when they both play in that short time frame and they lost as a favorite the first time, you got to roll with them in that second game. It's covering above a 60% clip. So I got to roll with the Clippers minus the 6.5 in that game. I think they'll honestly smack them up. But for just the picks for this show, I do Clippers full game. And you got to rock with Zubac rebounds again, man.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever OKC play against, you got to go with the opposite center. They gave up 14 to Zubac last game. I think they gave up 16 twice to Gobert and 14 to Jokic or something like that. And this was happening last year too. So they raised it from 10.5 to 11.5. I like that.
Okay. Hey,
go ahead.
Hey, Ski, real quick. I know you got the trend, the league-wide trend where the team that's supposed to be the team that's a favorite loses the game outright by whatever the margin is, and they come back and they cover the following one, and they hitting at a really nice rate. Are you? And I know you don't play quarters as much, Ski, but are you? Does the quarter trend also bode well for first quarter, first half, or does it? Or you just staying away from that, just playing the full game minus the 6?
No, I personally played them all.
Okay.
I think it's a smack city just because I do it kind of consistently. I was talking to my boy Jay, and he just said, when you bet these kind of spots, you got to kind of do it consistently. You can't pick and choose which one is which. So I think the Clippers get after it early and often. I hear what your boy is saying about OKC coming back in the second half because I've seen it happen plenty of times, but that's how I like it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like that. I like that too, Ski. I was just kind of curious to see if you were official on all three or not, because like Jay always say, in those spots, if you take all three, most of the time the least that's gonna happen is you go 2-1, if not sweep the board at a 3-0. So I like the look a lot, bro. I like the look a lot, and I would second that, Ski. I do think, like you said, the league trends outweigh the team trends in this spot, especially with the Thunder coming off an upsetting win when they weren't supposed to win that game. So I like the look a lot, bro.
All right, these two, I'm going to be real quick. This one, these are team trends. I'm just name them. You bet with the Warriors off a loss as a home favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that goes back as long as the team been together, like the core, and last year as a home favorite, they were 29-19-2 against the spread. Miami, when they play on back-to-backs on the road, they get up and down the floor, they shoot a lot of threes, and they go over 13-3 since 2020. So I like Golden State, and I like the over in that game.
Me too, Ski. I'm so glad you like that, bro. I didn't play it, but I like both of those. I ran a lot of SDQL, Ski, looking at this game specifically, and that's a trend that just seemed like the right side to be on, the over, especially with the Warriors not playing as well defense, and the Heat not playing the greatest defense either. So I really like the over in that spot, Ski. And I think some money kind of came in on the over. Not a lot, but I think some money came in on the over. And like you said, it's hard to fade Golden State on the second night, on a game after a previous loss and they're the home favorite. I kind of talked about that trend earlier too. So love your look, Ski. Probably another sweep for you today, bro. So I know you started off the season a little cold. as I did too. And I'm still, kind of up and down, but I like your looks a lot, Ski. Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash tonight.
Good luck, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you more, bro, for being here with us. Finesse, I want to kick it back to you, and then Vaughn, then we're going to get out of here. What up, Finesse?
Yeah, just a real quick word, because I was on Minnesota first quarter yesterday as well, so I actually watched the first quarter, the whole first quarter, and it's exactly what you guys are talking about. That I don't really look into like narratives and all that type of shit, but that one where it's immediate turnaround, you're facing the same team, you really see it, right? That's when you could really, really see. They were playing hard as fuck, diving for loose balls, playing hard on defense, so it's something that you can actually see and it jumps off the screen, right? These boys don't like getting their asses whipped, especially by a bad team like an OKC or whatever the case is. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. And then what Ski was just saying, I know Ski talked about this a lot last year when I was watching the shows, just taking the Warriors off not even off a loss, but more so just a home favorite. But so the Warriors last year, and I talked about this earlier on the morning show, when you look at the Warriors team in general, just last year, and we know last year they didn't even have like all their guys together for the whole entire season with Draymond, Steph, and Clay. But if you look at the Warriors as a home favorite last year, they were 42-11 straight up, 31-22 ATS, which is a 58.5% hit rate on the spread. They covered those games. The typical spread was 7.5, and they won those games by an average of 11 points. And then when you throw in that they're coming off a previous loss, even if you just look at last year, they were 15-3 straight up, 11-7 ATS. So that's a 61% hit rate. And if you drop the date back to, the last 2 years, even though one of those years wasn't necessarily a good year, they still finished 17-9, which is a 65% hit rate ATS to cover those games as a home favorite off a previous loss. Final score was 115. The average final score is 115-102. So they've covered those games by 13 points over the last 3 years as a home favorite coming off a loss. This is not a spot where you want to fade the Warriors. Anything can happen, but I wouldn't be looking to fade the Warriors in this spot. I'm gonna kick it to Vaughn real quick, and then we got then we're gonna actually get off of here because I know the game's about to start on the East Coast. I mean, they're about to start everywhere, even though I'm in a different time zone right now, so it feels weird to be in the Midwest. Vaughn, appreciate you being here, my brother. What's going on? What you want today?
Hey, I'm good, bro. You hear me good?
Yeah, you good.
All right, man. I ain't gonna take up too much time, bro. We on job points and assists. I got it at 35.5. We know what his usage has been, one of the top usage players in the league. I just watched Sacramento and Golden State the other night. Golden State had 89 in the first half. I think Steph ended the game with about 34 and didn't play much in the fourth. So Ja's a different kind of point guard, but still a high usage point guard. So I really, really like I can't get too far into it. My throat hurt a little bit. But we on Ja points and assists at 35.5 tonight. Excuse me. We on Keegan Murray threes. And a lot of people already gave out a lot of analysis on Keegan Murray, so I ain't gonna regurgitate a lot of it. And the last one I'm on, man, I'm on the Warriors -6, bro. It's just the eye test. We're going to take Golden State going back home after they just didn't play a game where they looked so good. And then also the other night when they played against Sacramento in the fourth quarter, bench players come in. Bench players let Sacramento get back in the game, so Steph had to bring the starters back in. So I look for Golden State to kind of come home. And a real good travel spot, like we said, Miami is coming from Miami to Portland down to the Bay. Love Golden State tonight. We took Golden State. Well, we are going to take Golden State for a game -6. And big love to Minnesota yesterday, bro. I know you in Minnesota right now. Minnesota brought us home. First quarter spread, first half spread. The total went over, but we took all 3 of those. And then also big love to Gary Trent, man. We cashed that ladder yesterday. Discord doing real good, bro. Real big things. But we rolling with Keegan Murray. Threes, we going Ja points and assists, and we going Golden State -6 with all the analysis that Chris and Ski gave out, man. Chris been giving out all this SDQL good shit. I need the SDQL for dummies. But we're rolling right now, bro.
Absolutely, Bob. Best of luck, bro. I like the looks a lot, man. It's only a matter of time before we start hitting that stride and start sweeping some of the boards. Some 5-1 games, some 5-1 nights coming. As we get more information. I'm watching this like a hawk. So I'm always on, all these things. I got a lot of alerts set. I'm always tapped in, locked in at the NBA, no matter, where I'm at or what I'm doing. So appreciate the love, Vaughn. Appreciate the looks too, bro. I think you cashed tonight for sure. I like the looks. Real quick before I get out of here, I'm going to share my official, and then I want to address one thing I see in the YouTube comments. So Matt Stoney said, why are there so few player props in the OKC, LA, in the Clippers game? Every other team has had lines available forever. So I think, one thing to take into consideration is just making sure that, guys like Paul George are ruled in and ruled out. You don't want to set the books don't want to set those lines too early, Matt Stoney. I know Ski just kind of talked about Paul George just being ruled in. So that affects everything, right? So the books are, they're not going to put themselves at a disadvantage of not knowing that information. And then we kind of have enough information where we can make a hypothesis around whether the player is going to play or not. So they're going to wait it out as long as they possibly have to. And if they don't want to put the props out, they're totally fine with that because the books aren't in the position. They're not in the, they don't want to lose money just like we don't want to lose money. So they want to get all the data that they possibly can have as well. I also think that the Clippers are such a deep team, and Tyronn Lue could, Ty Lue could give anybody those minutes. They can go 11 deep, and you really struggle as a book and as a capper to figure out who wants to do what, right? The reason why we're on Zubac rebounds is because he's the only big man. They don't have Hartenstein anymore. He's over in New York playing for the Knicks, and they don't really have another big man. But if they didn't have Hartenstein, we wouldn't know whether to take guys like Robert Covington or Norman Powell or Nicholas Batum. We wouldn't know who rebounds to take. So that's the reason I think that. And then this OKC team just they're a deep team, but as far as like rotation wise, but they don't have consistent minutes. And SGA being ruled in, you also got to figure out where you want to set guys' lines without a guy like Giddey who's already ruled out in this game, and they'll have some other injuries as well. So I think that answers that question. And then, like I said, official for me, 2-unit play. The only thing I actually played before I left VA was the Mavs. I'm on the -1.5. I talked about it yesterday in the space. I talked about it yesterday in the morning. Well, I don't think I talked about it in the morning show, but I talked about it on the morning show this morning. That's what I'm official on. Mavs, 2-unit play for me, -1.5. I like them a lot to clean Brooklyn up tonight. 5 or 6 point win. I really like that line a lot. So that's what I'm on. People who join late, everything is recorded over on YouTube. Just go to YouTube. You can use the link that's in my bio, or you can go to YouTube and search for ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's. 7 a.m. I'm getting up in the morning again, even in Minnesota, bro, which is really 6 a.m. over here. Tapping in with you guys, doing the morning show, Cashed It with Chris. We'll review some of these games and talk about the slate for tomorrow as well. Until then, best of luck on all your bets tonight. Y'all make sure you hit that like button for me on YouTube. Comment, send some comments as well. Subscribe to the video. Best of luck on your bets tonight, man. I'm out.